All right. All right. We're live. Carolina Crafted Homes first live video. So, if anybody is joining, really sure who's going to be joining today because this is our first live video. We have a lot of you that subscribe to our channel, and I'm excited to do this, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But never sure who's going to be able to make it. It's the holiday times. We're getting close to Christmas. And so if you're here and you're from someplace cold, let me know where you're at and where you're coming from. I would love to see in the chat if you are someplace cold. Being in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Tiffany is not this way. I love the snow. So just for a little while, I don't want 6 months of where, I grew up in Chicago, Indiana area where it's 6 months of gray and sleet and everything else. So I don't want that, but I do want some snow for Christmas. And I know some of you are from a snowy area. So let me know where you're watching from and tell me what you're thinking about. If you're someone who's already subscribed to our channel, let me know why you subscribe. Let me know, are you interested in buying? Are you interested in selling? Are you interested in investing, building, renovating? Are you interested in us talking about our renovation business with rentals because we have rentals? Are you interested in that? Or you just like to be a part of the community? That's cool too. That's a big reason why we're doing this, and we'll talk about that as well. So let me know where you're at. Let me know why you're a part of this channel and what you like about it and what you're interested in doing, maybe here in Myrtle Beach or even somewhere else. We're going to talk a little bit about this today and touch on exactly why is this channel so important to us? And I think that's a big part of it. Maybe you watch this just to gain real estate knowledge. I would love that. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me if you're going to purchase here in Myrtle Beach. We just want you to see value. And so let me know in the chat if that's part of why you're here. And maybe there's some, neighborhoods that you like here in Myrtle Beach. And, I would also love to hear what topics you are interested in. Tiffany, I know, would love to hear about what topics you're interested in. So let us know if there's topics that you would like to hear us talk about in the future. I already have the next live thumbnail is up. So we already have the topic for next week. And this is going to be every Thursday right now. We'll start at 5:30 on the dot and we'll go as long as it goes. My plan is for an hour. Today probably won't be that long because this is more of an introductory. What is this and what is it not? And I want to do that for you so you understand where Tiffany and I are coming from with this live series. I also have a special announcement today about some other big things that we want to do. So, hey, what's going on? Jason and Yvette, I love it. Joining the live. I appreciate it. So, all right. If you get on and you're watching this later, I would still love to know, what are you interested in seeing? Why are you here? Are you one of our current subscribers or not? And part of this is to help you with any of your real estate, buying, selling, investing, and we're going to talk about that. So, okay. Why does this channel exist? Tonight, what we're going to talk about is why this channel exists. I could have just started with the first topic and we could have just gone straight to the first live about whatever topic that is. But we have been doing this YouTube channel for probably, I think it's 5 years now. Those of you that have been subscribers for a long time, you're very aware of what we talk about on our channel. But why did we start to decide to do live video? And that's part of this conversation right now. The live videos are a chance for us to get to know all of you and for you to get to know us a little better. One of the areas that's really important to Tiffany and I is that we start to have an opportunity for everyone on our channel to become more of a community. I want to get to know why everyone is here. And I want to make sure that we're producing the content that you're interested in receiving. And it's really tough for us to do that. We could go through all the comments, which we do because we get lots of them. But I also want to have a chance to interact with you on a live basis. That's really important to me. When we put the educational content out, I love doing it. Tiffany loves doing it. But the problem is we don't get a chance to have live interaction with all of you. And that's really what we're looking for. So whether you're local or not local doesn't matter. Whether you're looking to learn more about buying or building or selling or investing, we don't care. The only thing that's important to me is that you get value from our channel and that we have an opportunity to answer your questions directly, because I think that'll help us have a better relationship with all of you. And that's really what we want. We also, the best way to say this is that we also really care about you. And what do I mean when I say that? Well, what I mean is, without you, we wouldn't even have this channel. We have roughly around, I think, 4,000 subscribers, and we're so excited about that. The subscribers, though, doesn't even matter. It's just all of you who watch and get value, but we're excited about it. And we want to make sure that our content is exactly what you want. And we want you to trust us as a resource to come here for all things Myrtle Beach. We do restaurants. We do, you've seen our renovation videos. And if you've seen all of our content, then if you don't, it's everything across the board. And we're going to continue to do that. But we also want you to understand the lifestyle here in Myrtle Beach. So, what do we do as a family? Where do we go to eat? What do we do on the weekends? We're going to talk about the weather here, and we're going to talk about everything that goes on here in Myrtle Beach, things to do, just the whole lifestyle, because Myrtle Beach has so much to offer. And if I were moving to Myrtle Beach, that's what I would want to know. I would want to know all the other stuff too that's very formal. And hey, here's what happens when you buy and sell a home. And that's all great. But are you getting the real, raw, if you want to call it that, unfiltered version of what's going on in Myrtle Beach? And so anything we can share with you, we will. And that's really what this is about, is this live video series is a chance for whether it's just me, which will probably be most of the time. Maybe Tiffany will be on here some of the time. And I'll get to the secret at the end. I don't want to spoil it too soon. But we want to educate you about living, building, buying, and investing in Myrtle Beach. So we want to be able to cut through the noise, and we want you to understand, not just the postcard stuff, but really what goes on here in Myrtle Beach. And so that brings me to the next point, which is our commitment to you and, the real world experience as far as realtors and builders go. There's a lot of content out there nowadays. And I think what's really getting more, I shouldn't say more, but tougher is, many of AI is becoming more and more popular. And with AI is a lot of auto-generated content or regurgitated content. And what we want to do is have a resource where you can come and say, hey, I need a break from the auto noise, the AI, and I want to hear from a real person, because we have this relationship and we're part of this community, and we can get answers, all things Myrtle Beach. And hopefully, if you're not in Myrtle Beach, you can get some idea of what you need to be doing in your local market. Real estate is extremely local. It's a local game. Right now, we have so much information on a national level. Okay. And what you will need to understand is that every market is different to some degree. And so where some markets don't have enough inventory, some have too much. How can that be? Well, they've got different populations. They've got different, products. They've got different situations, whether companies are moving there or companies are leaving. So all states, all cities are going through something different. And so hopefully we can give you a good idea. Let's say you're selling a home up in the Northeast, which, is all areas of the country right now are probably a little slower, but some are still hot and some have no inventory. So if your home sells fast in the Northeast, let's just say, then you come down to Myrtle Beach and you think it's going to be the same way. It may not be that way. And so that's what this channel is about, and just give you the opportunity to find out some different things. Let me just check in the chat here. All right, everybody, I just turned 49. These glasses have to come on sometimes to read this chat. So Ed, how you doing, buddy? Ed Brown, one of my favorites. I love you, buddy. Property management companies for your rental property. I love the question. So if we can get to this, I will. But if you put a question in the chat, and I may not get to it today, I'm going to try. But if I don't, we will make it a question that we will either send you an answer on, or I will address it as a next live. So just to give you an idea. But what a great question. Best question to ask when interviewing property management companies for your rental property. And I would love to answer that question because we rent out our own properties. I have gone with other property management companies. We have gone with other property management companies, and there is a lot to consider. So it may not be something I can answer quickly, but I would love to have that question and answer it for you. Also, if you could put your email, if you have an email where we can send you answers to your questions in case we don't get to it, I would love to do that because I want to make sure you get answers. That's a great question. And thank you for asking it. Okay. So let's talk about what content you're actually going to get and what this channel is. So you might be wondering about lifestyle content. You might be wondering about neighborhood tours. You might be wondering about cost of living and market updates, new construction, coastal home building tips, flood zones, insurance realities, what nobody tells you. I am not here to be doom and gloom. We are not here to try and grab a bunch of people to subscribe to our channel unless you want to. But we are going to give you the truth. And that is all I care about, is that you trust us and that you can come here for the real answers. Okay. So like I said, we'll talk about restaurants, events, and other topics like that. So what is this channel not? This is not just tourism content. That is not what this channel is. There are other YouTube channels where you can follow and they just talk about tourism in Myrtle Beach. That is not what we are, right? We are not going to pretend like Myrtle Beach is perfect. It isn't. I don't think anything is. I'm not perfect. I don't know of any places that are perfect, and we travel a lot. But what we will do is make sure that, again, not to beat a dead horse, but we will make sure that you get the real answers. And everybody that knows us knows that that's how we are. And that's all that we care about. So just want to make sure that we're clear on what this channel is. And I hate to say it, we are trying to show real life, not staged life, right? I have a question from Myrtle Beach Living. That's probably somebody here locally asking about, how they get financing for a home. It's a great question. You have to have a good lender. And that's a shorter answer question, so I can touch on that. That is a question. You have to go to a local lender, especially here, depending on the product, but you will want to go to a local lender. A good lender and a good real estate agent or real estate team is going to be paramount when you purchase. So we are definitely advocates of that. Have somebody that you trust in your corner, and your lender will be a big part of that, as well as your agent if they're experienced. There's lots of different programs, lots of different ways to buy property nowadays, but you have to make sure that the team you surround yourself with. So those of you that don't know, I'm also a business coach and I coach a lot of real estate agents. And one of the pieces of advice I always give them is your team around you matters. Tiffany and I believe in that. We believe that the team around us matters. And so we always have a good team to help give you partners that you can use and that you can trust. So having a good lender, that's a great question, but having a good lender is a big part of that. All right. What else is this channel not? It is not going to be overly polished, and it is not clickbait. All right. We've covered that. So who are we? This is important. Who am I? Who is Tiffany? You've seen us on our videos. You've seen probably a video or two that we talk a little bit about ourselves, but that is a big reason why we are doing these live videos. And I guess I'll break the news. We are going to be starting a podcast, and we are very excited about this podcast. Tiffany and I, maybe it'll be both of us. Maybe sometimes it'll be a guest. Our goal is to talk about designing a home, building a home. It might be local codes. It might be what we do in Myrtle Beach, maybe something new that's taking place, a new highway coming in, a business that's moving here. How's that going to affect our area? We are going to cover it all on that podcast. These live videos and the podcast, again, are just another way for us to get in touch with you and for you to get more access to us, because that is a request that we get all the time. Hey, you guys should do live. We get these recommendations. Hey, we want to spend more time asking questions. And so this is our opportunity to do that with you. And we're really excited about it. But back to the original question, which is, who are we? So Tiffany and I have been in real estate I know I have been, I want to speak for Tiffany, but I've been in real estate for 24 years. Tiffany has been in almost that time, probably somewhere around the 15 to 16 year range. And so knowing that, we have been in the building industry. We worked for builders, major Fortune 500 builders. We have been in real estate for a long time. We had our own home building company before we started this one. I am a current business coach and real estate speaker. And so we know the real estate space. This is what we do. We work with our clients here locally, and we want to make sure that they get a good product and they have a great experience. And then we have our YouTube channel, and we love our YouTube channel because it gives us an opportunity to make sure that the education is there. If you're going to do something and like make the largest financial decision of your life, what we want you to do is have a place where you can go and get the best information to make the best informed decision. And the only way you can do that is if a channel like ours exists. And that's all we want. We get people all the time that come and thank us out in public that say, oh my gosh, it was so helpful that you did that video on XYZ. And that is the best compliment I could ever receive. So that's what's so important to us. Okay. So let's talk more about a little bit about our story and Tiffany and I and how we came here. So we used to live, Tiffany and I met a long time ago in Washington, D.C., and then we moved to Charlotte. We lived in Charlotte for about 7 years, and then we moved to Myrtle Beach about 14 years ago, 15 years ago. It could be a little off, but that's about right. And when we got here, we started to do real estate. And so we have a perspective that some don't have. Besides our background and our experience and our degrees and all this other stuff, what we really bring to the table is variety. Tiffany has a background. I have a background. I have a financial background, investing background. So, one of the other things that we're passionate about is helping our clients once they purchase their personal residence. How are you going to take advantage of real estate? Should that be your goal? How are you going to take advantage of real estate and save money on taxes? Build wealth for you and your family so that you can live the life that you want to live. That's what we're passionate about. How can we help people learn to invest in real estate and build the life that they want for them and their family and gain freedom to spend that time with their family? That's what we're about. That's what we want for you. Okay, so we're licensed realtors. We're licensed in actually South Carolina and North Carolina. Mine in North Carolina is actually inactive because I don't use it that much. Tiffany's is active. We're both active in North and South Carolina. I have a home building license here in South Carolina, and we can build pretty much anything. Now, one of the things that we don't want to do is we don't want to build 100 homes a year. Sorry to let everybody know, but we want to build a few homes a year and mostly specs. We will build for clients on a case-by-case basis. We also do renovations, large home renovations. So you buy a home and you need the whole thing renovated, or you live in a home and you want a big renovation done. That is something we also do. We have rentals. We're going to get into that on these live videos. And that is one thing we're going to do. Yes. Spending less money on your home. That is a great question. I love it. We will touch on that, but maybe not today. So I'm glad you guys are putting your questions in the chat. I'm going to try to address it before we get off today. I just don't want to keep everybody here to answer some questions. These are great questions that you have coming in. Okay. So the local market inside and out. We do. We know the local market inside and out because we've been here for 14, 15 years. And we want to share that with you. What are the things that we love about Myrtle Beach that we didn't think we'd love? What are the things that we don't like that we never even thought about? This is what you don't think about when you move. And so we want to be that extension. So if you live somewhere else and you're like, hey, I want to know, perfect example, spoiler alert, next week is going to be about all things weather in Myrtle Beach. Floods, hurricanes. Do we have tornadoes? What is the weather like in the summer? Is it so hot you can barely breathe? You'll have to find out. What about pollen? We're going to talk about it. And we're going to slowly ease into different topics about Myrtle Beach. I'm really excited about next week. I'm also really excited about today because we're starting a new journey with all of you, and I can't wait to continue it. Okay, so we also have our family here. We're invested long-term in Myrtle Beach. We're invested in the health of the community. We love Myrtle Beach. We invest in Myrtle Beach. We are long-term invested and short-term invested in Myrtle Beach. So very excited to talk to you about that and help you understand what we do in Myrtle Beach and why we do it. Okay, so why is Myrtle Beach different and the unique lens that we have? Um, Again, we bring something that no one else brings to Myrtle Beach, to the topic of Myrtle Beach, and that's because we've lived other places. I grew up in the Midwest. Many of our clients come to us from the Midwest. Many come from the Northeast, and many come from way out west, right? And some come from other countries. But we've been to other places. We travel a lot. We know a lot about real estate in other areas. I have done real estate, and I was thinking before we got on here today, I've done real estate in multiple states. And so I've been a part of building and real estate in the Maryland, DC area, in the North Carolina area, in the South Carolina area. And my family lives in the Midwest, the Indiana and Ohio area. So I'm very familiar, as well as Tiffany is. And that is what we bring to the table. That is why we're different. We also, from a lifestyle and investment perspective, which I already touched on a little bit, but the lifestyle, our son Hudson, we are all about family. We are all about the environment and having, taking the most, I should say, enjoying the most in life with our son and together as a family. And so we want to help other people. One of the things I started the live talking about this as a joke, but it was really serious. Being up north, I love the snow for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I love the mountains, right? But that's enough after 6 months of the cold. And so I was like, oh my gosh, we have to figure out where we want to raise our family. And we chose Myrtle Beach because the people were so nice. Everybody was so welcoming and inviting. And that's why we chose Myrtle Beach. And we want that for all of you. So, okay. We've helped a lot of clients relocate here. So not just us, we help people do it all the time. That's one of our specialties is, hey, why would you move here? What's so great about here? We talk about taxes. We talk about the difference in pricing. We talk about all of that. And those are things you need to know and you need to look at before you move here. And we're your eyes on the ground. Okay. Now, I think Myrtle Beach, what is also unique about it is there are many places in the country, obviously, that you can move, but we have been listed repeatedly as one of the best places to live because of the growth. And if you were going to make a move and you did want to come to South Carolina or Myrtle Beach, why not come here and why not come here soon? Now, maybe it doesn't fit your situation and we can have those conversations one-on-one. But I think it's definitely something you need to know and keep up with. We are constantly being rated one of the best places to live for a multitude of reasons, nothing more important than the growth. And you want to go to a place that is pro-growth. And I believe Myrtle Beach is one of those places. So something to keep in mind. And, we always laugh around here because we always say what people see when they're here or read about here, and then what it is when you live here are two totally different things. So we want to give you a glimpse into, hey, this is what it's really like to live here. You might read an article about XYZ, and we blog about all these topics as well on our website. So if you've never been to our website, if you go to carolinacrafted.com, you can look on the website and you can see our blogs besides our YouTube channel. And there we talk about a lot of other topics in depth, local to Myrtle Beach. And that's also important, but it'll give you more of a reference of what goes on here in Myrtle Beach, which we'll talk about on these lives as well. And then I think it's important to understand, if I were living in the Midwest and I was like, okay, I'm done with snow, the one question I would be asking is, well, I love the Southeast region of the United States. Where would I go? Because you have multiple options. And look, I'll be the first one to say, I would have no problem moving to Florida. I think Florida is amazing. They've got a lot of great things going on right now, as well as Georgia. There's a lot of places. So why here versus those places? And so I think if you consume our content, if you watch these videos, if you participate in these live videos, if you watch our podcast, we're just trying to help you understand, hey, here is why you would choose Myrtle Beach. And if it's not for you, no problem. We wish you the best and we'll still help you if we can, because that's what we want to do. And that's our passion. But we'd love for you to join us here in Myrtle Beach. And that's what we hope you do. Okay, so what can you expect from these live streams? So I and Tiffany, maybe, but we will be going live every week right now on Thursdays at 5:30 Eastern. So this is going to be a weekly cadence. I hope you join me. If you send questions in like we got today, I love the questions. We will use those as a topic for another live video or a topic around that question and address probably other questions. So that's great. We want to hear what all of you want to know. So share it with us. But this is going to be a weekly cadence. Okay. We're going to talk about what's it like here compared to other big cities. I think that's important. What's the market like compared to other locations and countries based on, you know, my real estate coaching clients, because I coach probably 55 real estate agents all over the country, and they all are seeing something different. By the end of each week, Tiffany and I know very well what's going on across the country for everybody's market. So not only can we help you a little bit in your market, but we also are experts here in Myrtle Beach. We're going to have Q&A sessions. And so we have a lot of questions on our YouTube channel. And so one of the things we're going to do every once in a while is just do a Q&A. And I think that will be very, very productive. We're going to do real-time market explanations. So we'll talk about today. I have the MLS pulled up. I can share expireds. I can tell you how long things are sitting on the market. We can tell you what the average list price is. Now, you can also find this out on our market updates that we work so hard to put out once a month. And we tell you everything that's going on in Myrtle Beach once a month, in case you didn't know that. A lot of you do know because you're subscribers on our channel. But we're also going to tell you a lot of behind the scenes. We want you to see what we do and what we go through when we're talking about a project. If we're going to rehab an oceanfront property, which we do quite frequently, and we have videos about that on our channel. What do we do when we're talking about how are we going to find our next build? Should we build a spec? What about financing for us? How do we do it? We're also going to talk about, what goes on, what's important when you are building a home, what's important when you are renovating a project, what's important when you're buying, selling, investing, even renting is important. You have to make sure you have a plan. That's really important. And that's what we want to share with all of you. We want to go deep on neighborhoods. Most of the time, I shouldn't say most of the time, a majority of the time, when someone is coming here, moving here, you're going to know where you probably want to move. Not every time, but a lot of the time. Sometimes, hey, I want to be in this region or this smaller area. I got to find a neighborhood. But we do these neighborhood videos so that if you're like, hey, your friend said, hey, you need to check out this neighborhood, or this neighborhood, or this condo building, or this condo building. We do specific videos on these condo buildings and these neighborhoods so you can look at them. You can see the amenities. You can do all those things. We're going to talk in depth about those neighborhoods and those condo buildings. We'll do, I don't know that we'll do live walkthroughs of developments and neighborhoods on here because we're always going to be most likely in our office setting or in our studio, but we'll have discussions about living here with kids, retiring here, working remotely, and etc. So we're going to talk about all of it, and I couldn't be more excited. And I really appreciate everyone, being interested in it. Okay, so I wanted to take a minute and just make a promise to all of you. My promise and Tiffany's promise to all of you is that we will always be honest with you. We will always be honest, and we will always give you the raw truth. And that's what this live series is about. We always do with our regular videos, but we're going to do it with our lives as well. And I just want to make sure that you know that this is a place you can come and you can trust that what we're telling you is what the situation is. Okay, so the next few videos that you see on our content roadmap, let's talk about it. So you will see as videos on our channel, we have been doing renovation tours. That is something we're going to keep up. We're going to probably do more home tours. We're probably going to start to do more new construction. We're going to do cost breakdowns of building and coastal homes. And so we're going to be doing all the things we normally do. We might add a couple things here and there. And I really want to get your feedback. So even if you're watching this after this live, I would love to know, what do you love about our channel? Which videos are your favorite? What are you not seeing that you'd love to see? Because we want to make sure that we deliver that content to you. The next live, let's talk about that. So The next live is going to be about the weather, like I said. If you have questions about the weather, send them because I want to make sure that we cover them. But there is a lot that goes on as far as all 4 seasons. Some people would laugh at that statement because they're going to be like, no, there's only 2 seasons here. It's like winter and then summer. But I do believe that there are 4 seasons. You get a little glimpse of them. And so we're going to talk about that. But there's also so much to do in the Carolinas. That's another reason why Myrtle Beach is so amazing. In just a few short hours, you can be in multiple locations. So that is another one of the greatest things about Myrtle Beach. So, okay. We talked about the next live. So let's talk about before we're done today, let's talk a little bit about what you can do. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel and join our community. You don't have to, okay? If you're not interested in this content, actually don't subscribe to our channel. But if you are interested in what we're about, family, Myrtle Beach is a community, helping buy and sell and educate you on what we do, helping you understand how we renovate our properties, all the things that are important if you want to move here, buy and sell, then you should subscribe. You should subscribe to our channel. And if you're considering Myrtle Beach as a future home, this is going to save you months of guesswork. I can't tell you again how many people stop us in public, in the airport, in the sporting goods store. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found your channel because it really helped us make a great decision. So if you have questions, drop them below. Let us know. We'll answer some of them in next week's live. And I am going to answer the question about picking a great property manager. If you put your email in the comments, I will send it. I just don't want to keep everybody today. And we will answer those questions. So I appreciate everyone joining today. Next week, we start what is going on with the weather in the Carolinas. I'm very excited to talk about it. And I appreciate everyone joining our live. And I'm looking forward to seeing you every Thursday at 5:30 here on Carolina Crafted. We'll catch you on the next one. All right, everybody. Talk to you later. Have a great night.